Hollyoaks confirms brutal Frankie and Suzanne twist, and there's no coming back trigger warning. This video contains discussion of child sexual abuse. Frankie Osborne bravely opened up last week about how twin brother JJ has been sexually abusing her. Darren reeled, but despite the shock of his daughter's revelation, he never doubted her for a second, which came as a shock to Frankie, who had been groomed by her twisted twin into thinking that no one would believe her. The aftermath of the scenes in question proved intense, with Darren confronting JJ in a heated showdown, berating him for his actions, asking what kind of a person would abuse their own sister. Feeling like he'd failed her as a dad, Darren was determined to ensure that JJ was punished for his actions, and therefore he summoned Suzanne to Basswood Road, where he told her what her precious son had been up to. Suzanne, however, failed to believe Frankie, branded her claims disgusting. The confused mum took JJ to stay with her while Frankie broke down in tears, devastated that her mum didn't believe her. Darren, meanwhile, made it his mission to make Frankie feel safe, spending the night on her bedroom floor as her night terrors continued. Frankie opened up about her accusation against Jack earlier in the year, revealing that the innocent dance they shared left her convinced that she was going to be abused after what JJ had put her through. She recognized that Jack is a good man and thus would never do something like that. The teen also revealed that it was JJ who attacked her in June, not Nancy, who is currently facing a trial for such a thing. Darren insisted that Nancy must know the truth, as she could be in trouble with the law, but Frankie was insistent. No one can know. Suzanne, meanwhile, called over to see Frankie, reiterating that she thinks she's lying. Frankie stood up to her mum and held her ground, recalling how she first told Suzanne that she'd been abused by JJ when she was just 9 years old. Such a thing left Suzanne shaken, as Frankie informed her she had proof of JJ's abuse, taking out her phone and reading aloud diary entires from earlier in the year, which documented her ordeal at her siblings' hands. Suzanne fought tears, asking why Frankie never told her about what she was going through, and, for a moment, it looked like the mother was starting to believe her daughter, as she held her in her arms in what appeared to be a touching moment. But it turns out that it was all part of a plan to get her hands on Frankie's phone. Frankie was devastated when she put two and two together, realizing once more that her mum still doesn't believe her. At the dog car park, Suzanne binned her daughter's mobile, determined to dispose of the diary entries and anything that could result in JJ's arrest. However, she looked very conflicted while doing so. Her efforts to stop JJ from getting into trouble with the police are apparent, but is she finally starting to realize that Frankie is actually telling the truth?